Hello everybody, I'm Elwirfy and today we are back playing some more Stories from Soul, the Gundog. I'm very happy to continue this story. I'm glad there's still more to it. To be honest, I was thinking about it, I was wondering, if after the battle we get oh, everything's good, we're done. But it seems like there's more story, so that's fantastic. I love playing the game and I hope you guys have been enjoying it. So let's see what else is going on in this wonderful story. Anyway, how are we going to do this? I think we should just say all in a day's work. Let's keep it casual. You smirk at the chief's question. She wasn't wrong. At this point, you felt you were running on fumes, driven by willpower alone. If you admitted to yourself that you were on the verge of collapsing from exhaustion, it wouldn't be long before it actually happened. That's a fair point. I don't know about you, Chief, but this is what I signed up for. Oh god, she doesn't believe me. That's right, Lieutenant. Is that right, Lieutenant? Yeah, sure, fuck it. We'll just bullshit our way through this. The chief gives you a playful punch to the arm. In stark contrast to her grace earlier, this punch actually sends you spinning away in the low gravity, requiring you to grab onto a nearby piece of apparatus to stop yourself. Maybe not quite, you admit. Well, I signed up to make sure this dog's tail keeps wagging, and right now, with all the engines offline, that's not happening. So I'm going to head back to the engine room. We've all got jobs to do. No time to stand around chatting if we want to get our unexpected passenger back to Europa Colony. Cadet? Chief? The main thruster module on Cruise Juno is completely fried. Don't bother trying to salvage it. It's going to need a wholesale replacement. Understood? Yes, Chief. All right then. Both of you, get to it. With that, Chief launches herself off a nearby railing and towards the hangar entrance. Much like you had with the captain earlier, you watch as she disappears, relaxing slightly once she's out of sight. As you look around your surroundings, you see that Dalton has already made his way towards Hansen's Juno, leaving you alone. You kick off the catwalk and begin to gently drift towards the hangar exit, taking one last look back at the hangar before you leave. Aside from the sounds of Dalton's exploratory tinkering on Hansen's Juno and background hum of various air handling systems, the hangar was effectively silent. This made the sight of the previously hostile machine lifelessly positioned right in the middle of it, all the stranger. Why can't I read? This made the sight of the previously hostile machine lifelessly positioned right in the middle of it all the stranger. Okay, it's kind of weird wording. Still, the chief seemed adamant that there was no chance it was going to go anywhere, and looking at it now, you have no reason not to believe her. Time for patrol, then. Let's talk to Dalton. Let's talk to everyone. Hey, Dalton. Let's give him a proper thank you. You shout across the hangar as you shove off the rails towards him, hoping that by giving this cadet as much notice as possible, you won't spook him. Lieutenant, how can I help you, sir? You sigh inwardly. Although he wasn't alarmed or shocked, you could tell he was more nervous than usual. Nothing to worry about, cadet. Just part of the patrol, just making sure to check on everyone. How are you doing? Oh, I'm doing all right, Lieutenant. Thank you. Are you sure? It didn't seem possible for Dalton to be more apprehensive, but looking at him now, you could see something was eating away at him. Are you sure about that, cadet? Well, I am, in the span of, half a sentence, Dalton goes from bundle of nervous energy to totally defeated. I don't want to be here anymore. Everything's going wrong, and it keeps getting worse, and I have to be here alone with that thing, and I'm scared. I don't want to bother anyone anymore. That was so fun to read. I don't want to be here anymore. Hey, Dalton, it's all right. Don't. Taken aback, you see tentatively more towards the cadet, raising your arm to lay a reassuring hand on his shoulder. Oh, fuck, he's crying. Dalton bats your hand away, simultaneously wiping his eyes with his sleeve and smearing tears across his face. No, I'm fine, sir. I was just, sorry. I'm just a little bit stressed out and I haven't been tough, but I need to fix the... Oh, my God. This is horrible. You move forward again, but before you can reach him, he spins, preparing to kick off the Juno towards the crates on the other side of the hangar. Now, grab him. Anchoring yourself with one hand, you reach out with the other, grabbing his back jumpsuit a sec before you can get away. This man needs a hug. No, sir, I've got to go and do the, I gotta, you strain for a moment against the force of his momentum, but your grip holds and you draw him back to you. Sir, Dalton, it's alright. Huh? Having done nothing to stop himself, the force of you pulling Dalton back leaves him to slowly float into your chest. It's gonna be okay. As Dalton floats limply in silence, you keep your grip on him, but don't say anything, not wanting to push him before he's ready. I'm sorry about that, Lieutenant. I didn't mean to get so worked up. It's just been a really stressful day, and I'm finding it a little bit tough. You move back slightly, giving yourself enough space so that you can look Dalton in the eyes. Or you would if he wasn't dejectedly avoiding eye contact. Hey, Cadet, like I said, it's alright. This job's not easy at the best of times. It's fine to be stressed out. I know, but I really shouldn't be. You release your grip on his jumpsuit, laying the hand on his shoulder instead. Come on now, it's fine. You're right. It's been a really stressful day. We're all feeling the pressure right now, and there's nothing wrong with admitting it. If we're being honest, I'm more worried about anyone on this ship who's not feeling the strain. But the chief and the captain and you, trust me, Cadet, everyone is feeling it at the moment. Turning away from you, looking at the strange machine amongst the mass of foam at the other side of the hangar, the trainee engineer responds despondently before looking back at you. But how do you deal with it? You can't help but smile at Dalton's question. I wish I could tell you. Oh. But hey, you move your hand from Dalton's shoulder, instead patting him reassuringly on the arm. You're doing good work. I know it's tough, but just focus on what you've got to do, what you've got to focus on. Let us worry about the rest, okay? Thank you, sir. I'll do my best. That's all you can do, Cadet. Letting another deep sigh out, Dalton turns his back to the engine module he'd been preparing to remove, grabbing onto a handle sticking out of an open maintenance hatch with one hand and rubbing his teary eyes from the back on the other. I should really be... Of course. No problem. That was great. What a great sequence. Can we talk about how mature that was? That was so good. Alright. What is our task? Visit engineering, visit fire control. Okay. But I'm gonna try and do something sweet. Yeah, let's go to the mess hall. Oh, before we head into the mess hall, the aroma of the machine-made coffee-made pancakes and waffles wafts down the four-side thoroughfare, and your stomach grows audibly. You hadn't realized how hungry you were until now, but with the scent of rich food in the air, your body begins to let you know, in no uncertain terms, that you are ravenous. Oh, it's Haru. As you step inside, you see Ensign Rumney leaning back lazily in their chair, slowly picking their way through a stack of syrup-covered pancakes, fork in one hand, cup of coffee in the other. They acknowledge you, but looking over to the doorway, raising their cup of coffee slightly before returning to their meal. Before you can say anything, your stomach grows loudly again. A smirk appears on the pilot's face briefly, but is quickly dismissed as they go take another mouthful of pancake. As they carry on eating, you decide to leave them for the time and head into the room and take a look at the available options. Let's try this. Can we get some food? Approaching the machine, you look over the list of menu options. You've been surprised by when you first got on board that the choice was just as extensive as the machine's much larger ships you'd been stationed on. The problem with this was that all the choices made it difficult to decide what you wanted to eat. You spend a minute or two going back and forth over the various menu options before narrowing it down to... Ooh, man. Honestly, pancakes. Let's get pancakes. You select the option that will give you an identical stack of pancakes to the one Haru's eating, and the machine begins to make a series of loud mechanical noises. After a few moments, the hatch opens, and a plate with a steaming stack of pancakes covered in syrup slides out. Yeah, because I was thinking, like, the pancakes are going to be fluffier and lighter on your stomach, I think. You take the plate from the machine and head to the table and sit down. You assume that Haru's silence means they're not interested in conversation, and decide to respect that by not saying anything. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. As you begin cutting into the first pancake, you notice Haru look across to you after taking a slow, leisurely sip of coffee. Hey, Lieutenant. You've just taken your first mouthful as the ensign points their fork at you. Solid choice. All right. You nod, and they do the same before returning to their own half-eaten stack. Due to your hunger, you consume the pancakes ferociously, with it only taking you a few minutes to consume the entire stack. You notice that although you'd managed to wolf down the whole plateful, Haru had barely made any progress on their remaining half a stack. Feeling a little bit self-aware of your gluttony, you stand up and return the plate to the meal vendor. As the plate is taken back into the machines, you exhale deeply, feeling contentness and satisfaction that spreads through you, taking the edge off your exhaustion. Can I use the vending machine? You look at the vending machine and consider the available snacks. The thought of a chocolate bar seems appealing, and you take your ID card out of your pocket, slide it into the machine card slot, and your key to your selection. One of the coils spins slowly, and your bar is eventually ejected, landing at the bottom of the machine and near the access hatch. You've got the silent voice. Okay, nice. I'll save this for later. No, we're gonna go give this to we're gonna go give this to Cassandra if she's there. After you input the passcode to Cassie's quarters and into the terminal outside of her quarters, the door slides open smoothly, and you step inside. Is she not here again? You quickly glance around the room and see that Cassie isn't here, meaning she's likely in the sickbay. She's in the sickbay again? Okay. I thought she would have been okay by now, but I guess not. Yep, let's go to the sickbay. Even before the elevator's doors open, your hand is raised in to preempt the harsh brightness of the sickbay's lighting. The powerful aroma of disinfectant wafts into the elevator as the doors slide open and the light shines brightly through the widening gap. Accustomed to both these features of the sickbay, you're no longer bothered by them. As always, everything appears in order, although you quickly notice that the doctor isn't at his desk. Looking over to the left of the room, you see a light illuminated above the doorway leading to the surgery ring, with its large gallery window having taken a frosted effect, obscuring the view inside beyond some vague shapes. The doctor had been able to patch you up pretty quickly, leaving Hansen to wait for the necessary procedures that now seem to be underway. Looking back to the beds, you see Cassie tossing and turning uncomfortably. She'd been fast asleep when you and Hansen were brought in, to the point where you'd wondered if she'd been sedated. But now that she was fidgeting and groaning, appearing in genuine discomfort. Cassie, is everything all right? You lay your hand on her shoulder and take her hand in yours. Hey, Cassie, can you hear me? What's wrong? Oh, it's you, Riley. How was the mission? Did everything... Kya? Is that a phrase? As she lets out a scream, Cassie yanks her hand away from yours, bringing it up to her head and using it alongside her free hand as if trying to hold her head together. Yeah! Completely overtaken by pain, Cassie thrashes around in her bed. It's all you can do to stop her from throwing all over herself. Hey, Cassie, it's all right. It's going to be okay. You look around in panic, unsure of what to do. Your first instinct is to get Dr. Rosarum, but he's in the middle of a surgical procedure. You don't think he'd be able to drop everything just to come to Cassie. Cassie, did the doctor leave you anything? Any instructions? Any tablets? Yeah! Okay. Cassie, come on, anything. Pills on the counter. Without a moment's hesitation, you dash over to the counter top where you can see half spent a blister of tablets atop a box of more of the same. You grab the nearby small glass, fill it with water from the hand washing station, and then take it and the tablets over to Cassie. Hey, Cassie, wake up and take these, come on. You slide your arm under Cassie's back and gently bring her to an upright position, keeping your arm in place to prop her up. Oh, hey, honey, These are the tablets you mentioned, right? Cassandra, still in a daze, blinks at the glass of water and pills you hold up to her, slowly reaching out to take the glass and then some tablets. Oh, yeah, the doctor said they'd help the headaches. Dreamily, that's a good adjective. Dreamily, she places her mouth on her water, and you help her with the glass of water. She drains it, and after you take it off her, you lower her back down onto the bed. Thanks, sweetie. Okay, I was going to give her the chocolate bar, but maybe not. You remain standing over Cassandra for a few moments, but it looks like she's fallen into some heavy slumber that she was when you were brought in earlier. You squeeze her hand before turning to leave, but before you can step away, you feel a gentle grip on your wrist. Hey, come back in a bit. I want to hear about your day. Before she can finish the sentence, Cassie slumps back into the bed, releasing you. Sure thing, Cassie. Can we still talk to her? Yeah, let's still talk to her. I want to give her that chocolate bar. Cassie, I wish there was something I could do for you. And even if I can't be here when you wake up, just something to let you know it's okay. Reaching into your jacket pocket, you pull out the chocolate bar you'd brought from the vending machine during your earlier visit to the mess hall. You fugitively look back to the frosted glass of the surgery ring, assuming that the doctor is occupied with whatever procedure he's carrying, Hanson out covertly and slide it under Cassie's pillow. It's not much, but it's the least you can do to keep her spirits up. Don't let Dr. Rosarium catch you with that, okay? If he knew how much junk you'd been eating from the vending machines, he'd probably get the captain to block your access. With a soft smile on your face, you gently move a few errant strands from the hair of her face before squeezing her hand again and moving away. Oh, I got another achievement. It says, Sweetheart, give Cassandra a chocolate bar at every opportunity. I just felt like it was the right thing to do because, I don't know, it's just who I am. But in any case, let's go ahead and talk to some other folk. It was just Cassandra there, right? Wait. We could only talk to... Yeah. Okay. I guess let's just hop around to different parts of the ship, I guess. I don't think there's going to be anyone in the airlock, but we could take a look. Actually, you know what we should do? Well, first let's see if there's no one here to talk to. I want to use this, and let's see if there's any intimate threats. Yeah, let's take a look. I don't know if anything will actually happen. Nothing? Nothing that I can see. Okay. Because I thought of that, like, wait, what if there's more than one bad thing? Okay, we were in the hangar. Let's go to fire control next, I guess? Yeah, let's move to fire control. You've been ordered to carry out a security patrol by the captain, and with you being up to speed with what was going on in the hangar, that meant fire control was your next stop. Okay. As you step into the small room, you're surprised as Dylan turns around immediately. Oh. Hey, Lieutenant, did they send you to check up on me? Just a standard security patrol, Dees. How's it all going? The normally placid warrant officer rolls his eyes, theatrically slumping back in his chair and gesturing to the monitors all around him with visible frustration. Oh, you know, great. I've been ordered to remain on high alert, but the issue with being long-range targeting system is even worse than before, so I can't actually do anything unless we've got a target in visual range. Which means I've got to keep looking at every one of these screens all the time and nothing else. So, you know, living the dream. What's wrong with the long-range system? As if I know, same thing as before, just worse. That's how the enemy got the drop on us. We didn't know they were there until they were right on top of us. Otherwise, I might have been able to get some shots in from the main guns. Might have been able to do something against the machine at least. Not like much of a... not like the point defense cannons were any use. I swear I almost got it so many times, but moved faster than the cannons could, and even when I tried to lead the target, it was too erratic to figure out where it'd be. Okay, he thought of leading the cannons, so that's good. Or leading the cannons, so I'm glad. Ugh, so he's disappointed too. With a groan, Dylan slides further in his chair and kicks off the floor, sending the chair spinning in a slow circle as he rotates and glances over all the monitors before turning back to you. But yeah, anyway, the long-range targeting system's almost completely useless right now. It's been fuzzy since this morning, but it got way worse when that thing showed up. I've tried to ask the chief to take a look at it, but she's still busy with the engines and everything else that's going on. So, like, he looks over the top of his glasses at you and shrugs. It is what it is, you know. Dylan makes another rotation this time gently brushing his hand over the targeting system's controls, shifting their focus slightly as he rotates past them. So what's up with you, Lieutenant? Got pretty gnarly out there, huh? You alright? You take a moment to rub your neck. You'd notice it was beginning to stiffen and the pain was creeping in around the edges. Hopefully whatever the doctor had given you would hold out for a few more hours. Yeah, not too bad, Dees. Thanks for asking. That's good, yeah. I could see Hansen's Juno through the cameras pulled some pretty sick maneuvers. You must have been really hanging on in there. You think back to how you'd been thrown around in the cockpit by some of Hansen's stunts. The experience of clinging onto the temporary passenger seat wasn't one you'd wanted to relive soon. You're not wrong. Those things got pretty wild out there. So I'm just glad we made it back in one piece. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't do more to help you out with the gun dog's weapons. You know, just everything was way too slow. You smile and wave your hands subtly to dismiss Dalton's concern. Or Dylan's concern. Oh my god. Don't worry about it, Dees. We couldn't do much against it either. I don't think there's anything on board that could have taken that thing out. Yeah, you might be right, huh? Silence hangs between the two of you, and you're about to make your excuse to leave before Dylan leans forward in his seat, looking you dead in the eyes, and speaks in a hushed tone. So, like, what was that thing, Lieutenant? What happened on the O'Brien? Is it a Martian? Terran? What's the deal? Have we got to the pilot yet? You place your hands on your hips before shifting your weight onto one foot and crossing your arms instead. Whilst exhaling deeply, you break the eye contact and look around the room with the monitors, finally looking back to Dylan, who sits there staring at you expectantly. Honestly, Dees, I've got no idea. All I know is that it blew the O'Brien to pieces, and then it came for the gun dog, and nothing we've got seems to have been able to scratch it. Dylan lets out a loud sigh, making his frustrations obvious. Ugh, great. Okay. Well, thanks anyway, sir. I guess I better get back to these monitors in case another one comes in looking for its friend. Sure, I'll check in on you later, Dees. With that, Dylan turns back to the walls of the monitors, and you watch him begin to idly prod the controls, adjusting and shifting views on some screens, and altering the focus from the others. Should we just talk to him anyway? Dees. Let's just keep talking to him. Yeah, Lieutenant? How come you're not listening to your music? That's something I wanted to ask, actually. With a loud groan, Dylan leans back in his chair and stares at the ceiling for a moment before looking back at you. I'm on high alert, and because the long-range systems are out, that means that we're visual range targeting only, so I don't get any early warnings or detection notices. I've got to be on the lookout for the entire time, so I can't put an album on or take it easy. It's killing me. Ah, I see. But what's good is, But what good's it even gonna do if I see another one of those things? The Gundog's weapons couldn't keep up with that one, with the one that made itself at home right inside the ship. Ugh, I mean, do we even know if it's out of commission for real? You grit your teeth. You'd like to give Dylan some reassurance, but you were having a similar thoughts to yourself. I just want the chief to fix it so I can get back to my music. I feel like I have to sit here in silence for much longer than I'm going to go nuts. Well, if I get the chance, I'll bring it up with her, alright? Nice. Thanks, Lieutenant. No problem, Dees. Alright. No reason to go to my quarters. Cassie's not there. Can't get into the captain's quarters. We could go to the bridge, but I don't think that'll be useful. There's nothing to do in the armory. I think all that's left is going to engineering. You pass through the stillness of the aft thoroughfare and head into the thrumming depths of the engineering department. As you make your way through, you look around for any sign of the chief, starting with the catwalks and workstations above you, then the machinery that fills the level you're on, and finally your search by scanning the levels below you. Hey, Chief! Chief, are you in here, Chief? Taking a deep breath, you cup your hands around your mouth and shout, Chief! You wait for a moment, but with no response forthcoming, you decide that you can be sure the Chief isn't in the engineering. Despite the level of noise coming from all the various systems, it wasn't like engineering was that loud. Instead of carrying on your search for the chief, Kathy's, you turn your attention to the engineering department in general, quickly going through your mental list of checks that make up your patrol's report. As far as you can tell, everything seems in order, leaving you without much to dwell on. Let's go to the actual engines. She should be working on the engines, right? The doors to the engine room slide open in front of you, and you're met with the disheartening sight of the huge engine remaining totally stationary, devoid of its normal rotation. There's a sense of stillness that permeates in the vast area where you stood is disconcerting. The only thing breaking all the engulfing silence is the constant grumble coming from the lone figure of the chief leaning over a control panel in the distance. I figured. Here's where the chief is. Chief, is everything all right? You call out as you approach her. No, damn it, Lieutenant, it's not. You're a little taken back by both Chief's curt response, but also that you didn't need to pester her in order to drag her attention away from what she's doing. Oh, no? No! If I didn't know better, I'd call it sabotage, but no one else on this ship has the know-how to do that kind of thing. So right now, I look like an idiot who can't get their NPEs back online. Whoa, Chief, hold on. Sabotage? It's not sabotage, Lieutenant. Like I said, no one on this ship would know how to do this kind of thing. But I've ruled out hardware issues, and I've never seen the software do a full reset on the startup process before, so unless it's something I'm missing, like an idiot then... Chief, what's going on? Ugh. I'd gone through the entire startup process and was just about to fire up the NPEs when that machine crashed into the hangar and I had to go and secure it. The status of everything should have held at that point until I got back, and it would have been straightforward to just enter a few commands and restart the engines, but... The chief lashes out with her boot, striking the bottom of the casing, causing the control panel she'd been working on. The whole process has been reset, and all of my calibrations and checks have been wiped. I've had to start from the very beginning. Without NPEs online, I can't even get the ship moving, let alone get the HFDD started. And until I can get the HFDD up and running, I'm stuck here instead of being in the hangar, figuring out what's going on with that machine. It's killing me. And every second I waste screwing around with the engines is another second we're adrift out in the boonies with God knows what in our hangar. Ah. The chief strikes the base of the control panel again before leaning over it and beginning to key in commands. Even the preset functions I've installed have been wiped out. It's basically at shipyard status. This is ridiculous. First I'm going to have to... Is there anything I can do to help? That's a fair question. Haha, no. Oh. Nothing personal, Lieutenant, but no, there's absolutely nothing you can do to help me in this case. Well, but thanks for offering. No problem, I guess. Before you're even done responding, Chief has turned her attention back to the screen, full of diagnostic settings, and begun keying in commands, pausing to take note of some nearby readouts, and then inputting more information. You make a mental note to fill the captain in on the status of the engine startup process, and decide to leave the chief to it, since there's apparently nothing else for you here. But we can still talk to the chief, so that's cool. Hey, Chief. About the machine in the hangar, what about it? What did you reckon it was? Where do you think it came from? Mars? Earth? That's a damn good question, Werfs. I've got absolutely no idea. I've never seen armor, weapons, or a propulsion system like that. I've read speculative proposals about that kind of tech, but we're decades away from even the fundamentals of it. Oh boy. We might be in peace time, but all the big governments are doing everything they can to develop their weapon systems, ensure they're not caught out again. But if anyone had anything like this, even in the testing stages a few years ago of the war, would have been over a lot quicker, one way or the other. Even if this was Martian or Terran, it doesn't make sense to test the JCF's backyard. If it's ours, then why would they send us in without letting us know? So there's nothing. No indication where this came from or what it's for? I can tell you what it is, Lieutenant. That's for sure. That machine is nothing but a weapon. Beyond that, I might be able to figure out some answers to these questions. If I wasn't stuck here restarting the engines from scratch, I would. Which you are distracting me from, Lieutenant, so get out of here. Yes, Chief. Did I do everything? Deliver a report to the captain. Let's try to go to the captain's quarters. Well, I've taken a look at everywhere I need to. I guess it's time to report it to the captain. Unless there's something I'm forgetting to check out. Carry on patrolling the Gundog. There might be something I'm missing. It's not like there's schedule or anything. Let's check a few more things out. I just want to check out the captain's area, actually. And then we'll go up. We've done everything else. Wait a minute. That wasn't this way last time I passed through here. Sorry, what's wrong? Maybe Dalton didn't replace this corridor correctly. It must have shaken loose during the battle. But it was definitely attached to the last time I was here. Can I use this? This definitely wasn't like this when I came through here earlier. You head over to the entrance to the maintenance crawlway, and holding onto the sides, leaning to the space first, looking up, and then downwards. The ladder extends into the gloom in both directions, and although you can only see up to a certain distance, you can't see anything unusual, and you don't hear anything either. With a sharp shrug, you move to pick up the panel, placing it back onto the wall. It takes a little bit of trial and error, but eventually you get the panel attached again, and you give it a few knocks for good measure. That should do for now. Weird. Now let's just go to the captain's quarters. I finished checking out everywhere the captain wanted me to. Since I'm here, should I report to the captain? Yeah, let's just report to the captain, actually. Well, I've not found anything that really needs to be reporting, but there's nothing else I need to do right now, so I should let the captain know that I've finished my patrol. After briskly making your way to the captain's quarters, you find yourself stood outside her familiar insignia-marked door. You're about to knock to announce yourself, but before you can, instead, you move your hand to cover your mouth as you let out a loud yawn. You stop midway through your exhalation, interrupted by a twinge of pain in your neck as you'd raised your arm. You roll your neck a few times, but this does nothing to shift the discomfort that you're now feeling. It seems like the painkiller the doctor had given you was beginning to wear off. You sigh, which quickly turns into the previously interrupted yawn. The tiredness, which you'd been doing your best to ignore since you'd returned to the Gundog, was now hitting you hard, and you were suddenly very aware of the physical and emotional toll of the past few hours that had taken you. As you feel exhaustion spread through your body, you hope that after you make the report with the captain, the captain would command Haru to take over the security detail whilst you get some rest. Being mindful not to aggravate the pain in your neck further, you slowly raise your hand and tentatively knock on the captain's door. Enter. You hear the captain announce from the other side. Ah, Lieutenant Wirfs. Have you finished your patrol? You shut your eyes briefly and draw in a deep breath, mustering the energy to engage with the captain. Alright guys, we're going to pause it here. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys have been enjoying so far. Obviously a lot more story, very exciting. So definitely make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And as always guys, I'm Elwirfy, and I will definitely see you guys next time.